Hey guys, I'm Nina Elaine. Welcome back to Nina Elaine Crochets. So today's video is going to be a tutorial finally for these adorable headphone charms, bag charms, bookmarks, literally whatever you want to use them for. Here we are. There is a pattern already on my Etsy if you want the written pattern. Before we get into this, all of my links, like my social media, my website, all that stuff will be down below. If you want to buy these items, you can also check out my website. Share this to any of your crochet friends that have been looking for tutorials. This is also a perfect gift for Valentine's Day for that bookworm that you know. Also, this is my first tutorial literally like ever. I'm sorry if my camera's not in focus, if I'm not explaining things right. Please, if you have anything, any suggestions, leave it down below. Please. Really tried my best. I hope everything's easy. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this tutorial. So first off, we're going to start with a magic ring. This is just how I wrap the yarn around my fingers. So round one is going to be 5 single crochets into a magic ring. Now we're just going to slip stitch into the first stitch and chain 1. Make sure when you are doing that slip stitch that you're carrying over the tail. Now we're just going to cut the yarn and pull tight. So there should be 5 single crochets into this magic ring. What I'm pointing to here is what we slip stitched into. We're just going to skip that. So if you skip over that, there should be 5 single crochets in your magic ring. We're just going to place our hook into any one of the stitches, and you're going to want to bring the white yarn through. And then we're going to chain 2. We're going to start the petals now. So round 2 is going to be a half double crochet, a double crochet, then a half double crochet, and a slip stitch all into the same stitch. Then we're going to chain 2 and repeat into the next stitch. You also want to make sure that you're crocheting over the tails as you're doing this, just to make it easier in the end so you're not weaving in as many tails. I usually just crochet over the tails for about 2 or 3 petals, and then I drop them. When you're done, you should have 5 petals on your flower. Once you're done with that last petal, you're going to want to slip stitch, chain 1, and cut the yarn. Weave in and then cut off any tails. Once you're done weaving in those tails, you have a little flower. We're going to start the strawberry now, so that's just how I wrap the yarn around my fingers again. Round 1 is going to be 6 single crochets into a magic ring. Round 2 of the strawberry is going to be 1 single crochet and then a single crochet increase times 3. You should have 9 single crochets at the end of this round. Once you're done with round 2, your strawberry should start forming a little cone shape. That's exactly what you want. For round 3, we're going to do single crochets in each stitch. There should be 9 single crochets in this round. Round 4 is going to be 2 single crochets and then an increase times 3. There should be 12 single crochets at the end of this round. Round 5 should be 3 single crochets and then an increase times 3. There should be 15 stitches in this round. Round 6 is single crochets all around. There should be 15 stitches in this round. Round 7 is going to be a single crochet and then a decrease times 5. There should be 10 stitches at the end of this round. To decrease, you're going to want to turn your work up, and you can see that in each stitch there's a front loop and a back loop. So what we're going to want to do is use our hook and don't go through both loops. You're going to want to go through only the front loop. So you're going to go through the front loop of the first stitch and then the front loop of the second stitch, and then yarn over, pull through those 2 loops, then yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops, and that's an invisible decrease. So the next stitch that we do is a single crochet, and then we do another invisible decrease. You're going to continue this until the end of your round. Again, you should have 10 stitches at the end of this round. At this point, you can start stuffing the little strawberry. For round 8, we're going to do invisible decreases all around. There should be 5 stitches at the end of this round. Once you reach the end of that round, you're going to want to chain 1 and then cut the yarn and sew the strawberry closed. Now we're going to take out the light yellow yarn and we're going to sew on the seeds. I usually sew on about 6 seeds evenly spaced, and I make sure that they're all facing one way just to make it look as uniform as possible. Now we're moving on to the stem and the leaves. So before starting to crochet, you want to leave a long tail. We're going to use this tail to sew the leaves onto the strawberry. Now starting off with the leaves, in a magic ring, we're going to chain 3. Then we're going to half double crochet into the 3rd chain from the hook. Now we're going to put a slip stitch into the magic ring, and that is 1 leaf. You're going to want to repeat this 4 more times. Once you're done with that last leaf, you should have 5 leaves. Now we're just going to chain 50 to 55. This honestly depends on you and how long or short you want the chain to be. I usually stick around 50 chains. Once you're done chaining the amount that you want, you're going to want to leave a long tail and then cut the yarn. Now using a darning needle, we're going to take the tail with the chains and we're going to pull it through the back of the leaves. You can tell which is the front and the back of the leaves. This is the front that I'm showing you. And then the back has a whole bunch of little bumps and stuff. That's where you're going to want to take the tail. Also, the tail of the magic ring should be coming through the back, so you know exactly which is the back and which is the front. So now I'm just going to take my needle and pull it right through that magic ring. This is so that the chains come out directly in the middle of the leaves, so when we sew it on, it doesn't look all sideways and wonky. Now we're just going to pull the magic ring closed. So your darning needle should still be attached to the tail with the chains. We're going to take the darning needle and the tail and we're going to sew it onto the flower. I like to just pull the flower apart a little bit and see which petals I want to sew in between. It's usually where we started. That's the most convenient place I find to sew the chains. For this part, there's no set instructions. It's kind of hard to tell. The only thing I can say is to not sew through the middle of the flower. Make sure you're sewing where the petals are and just go back and forth, making sure that the chains kind of lay flat and they look neat. Once you're done, you're going to want to take the tail and weave it in behind the petals. Now we're going to start attaching the leaves onto the strawberry. The first thing you're going to want to do is bring that tail end from the leaves and sew it through so that it's coming out of the top now. So this is completely optional. I like to use a little bit of hot glue just to initially attach the leaves onto the strawberry. So I kind of just twist it in, make sure it's good, but that's completely optional. You can totally just take the tail and sew it onto the strawberry. That's what I like to do after I glue it, just to make sure that it's gonna stay and it also looks really nice. I just add a stitch in between all of the leaves just to make sure everything lays flat, but the leaves still kind of stick up a little bit. I find that to be so cute. Once you're done with all the sewing, you're going to want to weave in and then cut the end. And now you have a little strawberry bookmark. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any suggestions, leave them down in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye!